Steeler Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. Let's do something a little bit different. It's now going into week 10, and Steelers versus Commanders coming up on your Sunday and my Monday. But let's start talking about some playoff implications or playoff scenarios, standings, playoffs, and also AFC North standings too. So I want to go to, because look, right now, it's the Chiefs, the Bills. They're in contention to win the number one seed. The Steelers also are 6-2. The Ravens are what are they? Ravens are 6-3. So those four teams are fighting for number one overall seed, right? And I still think that the Steelers have a good chance to win the AFC North. And if the Chiefs fall and the Bills fall, then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers having their big chance to go and win the number one seed. So let's look into it, right? We have here on the left-hand side, we won't really worry too much about the NFC side, but we're going to talk about, I'm going to move myself down the bottom. So we're going to really talk about the AFC side and not really worry too much about, but the other side too. Okay, just quickly. The Lions are 7-1. They're a pretty good team. We're versing the 7-2 Commanders this week. So they're in second place. The Falcons, who we beat earlier in the year, like 18-10 with Chris Boswell field goals, they're 6-3. The Cardinals are a bit of a surprise too at 5-4. They're winning the NFC West. The wild card is Vikings, and some of those teams are like 5 and I think the 6-2 Vikings and the Bears are 4-4. Packers are 6-3. So their division is pretty crazy. Eagles 6-2, just behind the Commanders, and Packers go Pack go is at 7. Now scrolling back up to the side that counts the most for us is the AFC side, and right now, I said this the other day. The Chiefs are the new New England Patriots, right? There's pun intended, because the New England Patriots were always in our way with Tom Brady, their team, their franchise. It seemed like every time the Steelers did something, the Patriots knocked us over, and they were a really, really hard team to beat. But for the AFC now, two-time defending Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs are 8-0. No team can beat them yet. The Buccaneers the other day should have went for 2, have a chance to beat them. It's been close in some parts, and teams have been a foot away from beating them with the Ravens. But the Chiefs now 8-0, leading the AFC West. Right, so the playoff probability is like 99%. There's no way they lose now all these games. Chiefs are making the playoffs, and they're number one. Then you have the Bills there sitting 7-2. And by the way, too, the AFC East is really, really easy for them. The Patriots are no comparison. The Jets have a bad team, and Aaron Rodgers, to me, he's washed up. The Bills are also in their division. They just beat the Dolphins like 30-27 by 3 points. So they're coming second. We kind of need the Bills to fall over a bit. Then you have the Steelers sitting there at 6-2 in the AFC North. Our playoff probability is 81%. And sorry if you do hear the noise outside. Someone is mowing like they do every bloody week. So you guys know the story about that. Everyone starts to mow. We have a probability of getting there, 81% if we lose, or 92%. Steelers are in a really good position, a driving position to tackle this gauntlet, this scary gauntlet that people are worried about. And we have a chance to go to the playoffs and also win the AFC North, right? But it's going to be a big 9 games coming up. The Texans, they just lost to, who'd they lose to? The Jets the other day. They're 6-3. They're first in the AFC South. But at the same time, when the Texans be in the AFC South, who's going to really compete with them? Can Joe Flacco? Are they going to go back to Richardson for the Colts? They're 4-5. The Titans are 2-6. The Jaguars are 2-7. They've been a piss poor team as well. So who's really going to compete with the Texans? The Texans, all they're going to do is play solid football, win the division, and they have a playoff run. There's no one really competing with them in terms of like wild card or divisional race. The Colts won't challenge anyone, in my opinion, to go to be a playoff team or to win the AFC South. Then we have the Ravens. The Ravens are side by side with us. If they win the game versus the Bengals tomorrow, they inch closer towards the AFC North. If they lose tomorrow, then we win. There's like another one gap, and then we verse them the week after. So that's going to be very interesting to watch too. They versus Bengals this week. Big game tomorrow too. Big game tomorrow or today when this comes out. I'm not too sure when I'm going to put it out. Big game tomorrow on for Thursday Night Football, Ravens versus Cincinnati. I kind of want to see Cincinnati win. At the same time, I kind of want to see them lose for the Ravens to end their season, or make it harder for the Bengals to get into. Either way, it's a win-win. If the Ravens win, then they would slow the progress down for the Bengals to have a playoff chance or make it a bit harder. If the Cincinnati Bengals win, then the Ravens get caught back to reality too. But we've got to focus on what we've got to do for our Steelers. Our Steelers is winning games in this gauntlet coming up. Chargers, they are now the 6th seed. So they're 5-3, second in the AFC West. They're behind the Chiefs. They need the Chiefs to fall over, to lose some games. Denver's versus them this week. I don't think Denver can beat the Chiefs. I think Chiefs will move to 9-0. And then also the Broncos are sitting there at 7th seed, but I wouldn't feel too comfortable being a Broncos team 5-4, who just got absolute beat down by the Ravens, by Lamar Jackson throwing three TD passes, by Derrick Henry running over the Broncos. They couldn't tackle. They didn't want to play football that day. And even though they have a good defense in allowing points, like 14 or 15, 16 points a game, the Broncos sitting there at 7th seed, right? So here it is, guys. Here it is. I'll try and do this. I'll also try and do this every single week. So right now, your Chiefs, your Bills, Chiefs are 1. We need the Bills and Chiefs to fall over, slow down their progress, and the Steelers to keep winning, because the Steelers can go and get a number one seed in the AFC. Texans, who fell to the Jets. Then we have the Ravens, who are hanging around and playing good football, trying to win the AFC North and climbing the ranks too. They're 6-3. Chargers playing good defense too. They demolished the Browns last week. They're 5-3. And the Broncos. And on the bubble, these teams, I just don't know about them. Colts, I feel like they're going to fall every single week. They don't know who's at their quarterback. Is it Joe Flacco? Is it Richardson? They have no idea. I do like their running back in Taylor, but I feel like they're going to fall each week, and they're versus Buffalo, going to be a very tough win against Buffalo. They can move to 4-6. The Bengals are at 9, at 3rd in the AFC North. So they're in on the bubble, or kind of in contention in that sense to be 4-5. If they beat Baltimore, they'll move up to probably the 5th seed. The Jets versus the Arizona Cardinals, but the Jets are a very poor team too. Then it goes down to Jets, Titans, Dolphins, Browns, Jaguars, Raiders, Patriots. All those teams, Patriots won't make it. Raiders won't make it. Jaguars won't make it. Browns won't make it. Dolphins won't make it. Titans won't make it. Scratch them off. It's not happening. Jets could be a maybe if they turn their season around and go and win 9 games in a row, right? So Jets could be a maybe. The teams that are fighting for this wild card race is really Jets, Bengals, Colts fighting for that Broncos number 7, which the other 2 teams, the Chargers or the Ravens, depending how the Ravens win the AFC North, right? If the Ravens win the AFC North, we'll be the 5th seed if we keep winning. So I know people and fan bases out there want us to fail and fall, but really, realistically, it's Colts, Bengals, Jets fighting for that last spot that is going to be number 7, because the Chargers, if they keep winning, they keep climbing the ranks too. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to see what's going to happen over this next 10 weeks to 9 games, and we're leading up as well for my going back home. I'm going to Pittsburgh. I'm going to Pittsburgh in like 8-9 weeks to verse the Chiefs. So I'll come back. Anyways, I'm going to Pittsburgh in 8 to 9 weeks, and I'm the Steelers versus Chiefs. I'll be in Pittsburgh for 10 days. I can't wait to get there to meet everyone, to talk to all the Yinzers, have a good time, drink some beer, eat some pizza, eat some burgers, eat some American food. I cannot wait to be surrounded by Yinzers, Steeler Nation, Steeler fans again, and I'll be doing a lot of reporting, a lot of videos, a lot of live videos there too, trying to catch up with everyone and have a good time. But here it is now. We're week 10. If the Steelers go and beat these Commanders, we move to 7-2, and we keep control of the AFC North. If the Ravens then lose and the Bengals catch up, the Bengals jump up into the playoffs, because Denver, I think, is going to start to slide down. But if the Ravens win, then the Bengals slide down one step, and maybe other teams can jump up in that spot, which, like I said, was the Colts or the Jets. But it's just tough. The Broncos got to turn the season around, because that number 7 team, the wild card 7 team, is Broncos, Colts, Bengals, or Jets. So who wants it more, really? So, anyways, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Hope you guys enjoyed that playoff countdown, or by the way, too, let's look into the AFC North. So right now, our Steelers are 6-2, the Ravens are 6-3, Bengals are 4-5, and the Browns season is 2-7. Pretty much gone done. Steelers have won 3-1 at home, 3-1 away. In the conference, we've won 4-1. That works well for the AFC. In our tiebreaker sense, some guys outside mowing. For and against, we're 187, 119 for points against. Point differential is 68, and same with the Ravens, 64. We've won 3 in a row. The Ravens won 1 in a row. The Bengals have won 1 in a row. And yeah, right now the Bengals and the Ravens and the Steelers are fighting for the AFC North. And if tomorrow the Bengals win, then the Ravens will go 6-4. If the Steelers go and beat the Commanders, which they definitely can get to Daniels. They can stop the run. They can run. Russell Wilson has a new target now. Mike Williams. We get to see Preston Smith maybe in the rotation after TJ Watt, or they're going to have different schemes and different people on the field at different times. So I'm excited for that. But if the Steelers win going 7-2, then you'll have Baltimore 6-4 and the Bengals 5-5. That's a 2-game gap. And then we're going into this gauntlet that people are still. I keep talking about it. And I won't shut up until we win or lose. But I keep talking about this gauntlet that we have. The last 9 games is versus the Commanders. Then we go Ravens, Browns, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. A lot of people are saying that we're going to lose this game. We're going to lose the next 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row. We're not a real team. We haven't played anyone yet. But I keep saying they have to play us too. If you're worried about these teams, the Ravens, the Browns, the Bengals, and whoever they are inside the AFC North, they have to play us too. That's Minka at safety. That's Deshaun Elliott, who's having a really good season with our team, the Steelers. That is also Cameron Hayward and TJ Watt and Highsmith on the outside and backed up by Herbig. That's getting back Zach Frazier. That's getting back Darrell Patterson too at running back and kick return. That's getting Mike Williams into the offense and see what he can do. That's George Pickens. That's veteran Russell Wilson. They have to play us too. A lot of teams are counting us out before it's even over. So this gauntlet, not too worried about it. But in terms of the playoffs and teams like that in front of us, the Bills and Chiefs have to fall over for the Steelers to go and get the number 1 AFC seed, which I believe they can do. And also, but our first mission really is to go and win the AFC North. Alrighty, Steeler Nation, that's it. I'm done. Shout out to you guys from Steeler Nation Australia in the group and HDU, Hooley Dooley University. You guys are awesome. Hope you enjoy this game. Hope you enjoy the game today. Ravens versus Bengals. It doesn't matter who you want to support to win or lose. Either way, it's the Ravens will come down a peg, or the Bengals have a tougher spot to get into the playoffs. They'll be 4-6 or something like that. All righty, Steeler Nation. I'll see you later. Here we go!